Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my August TBR, and like I've said in the past, I normally don't do TBRs because I am a mood reader, but I still like to pick out a few books, more than a few books, that I would like to get to in the month that I feel like I'm in the mood for. And it's not really like a set TBR, so there's not pressure on me that I have to get to them. It's just, you know, like a little smaller selection than like looking at like the whole of my shelves and all the books I need to get to. I just pick out a few that I would like to get to or I feel like I'm in the mood for, and then go based off of that. Sometimes I still don't even read ones that are on here. I read you know, other ones on my shelves or from libraries or ones I buy. So yeah, so I have these in genre, like stacks in genre, so we're just gonna go based off of that. The first one will be romance, and I only have one physical one for this right now, and that is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. So this one is part of a series, but you don't have to read the series in orders. Each book stands as like its own, because it follows like a different set of characters. Well, not a different set, but like the two main characters are different each time, and it's more about their story. You can see some of the other characters from other books, but it doesn't really focus on them, so it's fine to read them as is by itself without having to read them in order from the series, because I haven't read the other two. This is going to be the first one I've read, so yeah. So with romance, sorry about the noise outside. With romance, I'm probably going to choose more, but probably either on my Kindle or whatever I have on in my shelves that I'm in the mood for. Usually with romance, it's more like mood reading than choosing, because it depends on what type of romance I'm in the mood for. And then next we get into fantasy, and I've been in fantasy a lot lately. So the first one is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This one I am in the middle of, like right there. This is the second book to Serpent and Dove, and I've been really wanting to read this because I just finished the first one last month, I believe, if not the month before. And I've been really wanting to get to this because the third one is just already came out like a few days ago, and I've been hearing really good things about it, and I just really want to read this series and finish it up and see what happens. Sorry, my camera battery's flashing, so hopefully I can get through most of this pretty quick. Next one I have is Crown of Feathers, and this one I've had this one for a while on my TBR. I got this one even before I was into fantasy, because I was hoping eventually I would get into fantasy to where I would want to read this. This one basically has phoenixes, as you can see on the cover, and it's about phoenix riders and stuff like that. I don't know too much about it. I don't want to know too much about it. Just kind of want to go in. I've heard really good things about it. All the books are currently out, so I guess that's also what I was waiting for too, so I can kind of like binge the series in a way. So yeah, this is a series that has 3 books, and I just like this cover too, and it sounds pretty interesting. I've heard good things about it, so I hope I like it. Then I want to read Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, and this one I've actually started, as you can see, and I'm liking it. It's just I'm having to take my time with it because it seems pretty confusing to me, at least, because I am new to fantasy, and this is a little bit higher for me. So I'm just having to take my time because there's a lot of like plot and world building and a lot of info, and I'm trying to make sure I keep it like straight. And there is different like point of views in here, so I'm also trying to make sure I keep each character straight and everything, so I don't get them mixed up or I don't get confused, because I want to like this book, and so far I am. It seems interesting, so I want to continue with this. Pretty much this month for August is just like catch up, finish books that I've started but haven't finished yet, and start a few new ones. I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I've had this one since it came out, which on here says October because this was the book of the month for October, and I have also too barely started this one, and it is really interesting. I did really like it. I guess wasn't in the mood for it at the time, and then I haven't picked it up since. But I want to get to it because everyone says the writing is beautiful. It's such a beautiful story, and I want to read it. It's just like I haven't been in the mood to pick it up, but I feel like I am now, especially since it is getting closer to like October time and everything. I feel like this is perfect. But I don't want to read it in October because I have other stuff I want to prioritize, so I want to read this probably now. hopefully I can get to it. And then I want to read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Again, I'm like halfway through this one. I haven't finished it yet. And it's not that I don't like it. I do like it. It was just kind of hard to get into at the beginning. But then once I did, I really, really enjoyed it. But then I kind of got into like this, like, I guess, slow part. And it kind of like made me want to put it down and not pick it up. And it hasn't even gotten to like the heist part. So I'm kind of waiting for that. And we're about to get there, so I need to read it and pick it up. And I really do like it, but yeah. I just need to finish it. So hopefully I can finish it in August. And then I want to read Breach of Peace by Daniel B. Green. And this one is really short. I got this for my birthday from my sister. And I saw this on Amazon. And it sounded really interesting. And that's what made me want to get it. I didn't really know anything about it. I just found it on there. It sounded interesting, so I wanted it. And then I just recently found out that the author is actually a YouTuber. And I've been watching some of his videos and he's pretty funny and I like him, so I really want to read this book now. And I just like this cover too. And the book just sounds interesting. I want to continue with the Throne of Glass series. So the next one is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. I read Throne of Glass either May or June and it was okay. Wasn't the best, but everyone said the first one is not the greatest, just to push through and the series gets better. So I want to give the series a chance because everyone loves it and I love her other series, but I haven't read this one, so I want to give this one a chance and hopefully I like it. But it does seem pretty interesting right now, even with the first one being like a 3-star. So I'm hoping it gets better from here. Next I have Strange Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This one, it's like a booktube fave. I mean, there's people who don't like it too, but it's a big favorite on booktube and I want to get to it. This cover is gorgeous, but it's also too kind of intimidating because the writing style is like really lyrical and really pretty, and like it's a fantasy and the world is kind of like different, and I guess it's kind of like dense in a way to where I have to like pay attention and make sure I understand everything, and there's like a lot to it. So I'm pretty intimidated, but I do want to give this a chance because it seems like such a beautiful story and writing and book. So I really do hope I like this. I really want to. Now, the last one for fantasy I don't want to finish it in August. I just want to start it because it is huge. And that is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and this is a beautiful cover. I just want to start this book because it's such like a high fantasy, and I'm not used to that I feel like I need to take my time with this to make sure I really understand the story. But yeah, it seems really beautiful. I don't know much about it. It has dragons. There's 2 different timelines, one from like the past, one from the present, and then they intersect, and it's like sapphic and love here. So I'm down for all of that, and so beautiful. So I just want to start it and hopefully finish it by the end of the year, but no promises. The next stack is like mystery thriller. So the first one being The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And this one, I've heard a few things in the past, but it sounds pretty interesting. It's about books and like hidden books or like banned books and like books being destroyed and a mystery, and right here it says an epic story of murder, madness, and doomed love. Like, perfect. And it's set in Barcelona in 1945, so it's so good. I feel like it could be kind of dense because it has a historical fiction element to it, but it sounds really good. I haven't heard much about it, but I'm hoping I like it. This title, whenever I hear it, it always reminds me of The Name of the Wind because there's only like 1 word difference. And that movie is so long, but I love that movie. It's a classic, so good. I haven't read the book. Maybe I should try to, but I don't know about that. But yeah, so I hopefully want to get to this month, but we'll see. I just love this cover too. It's so like vintagey. I love the spine. Yes, gorgeous. Okay, next I have A Perilous Undertaking by Deanna Rayburn. This is the second book in a Veronica Speedwell mystery, and I am technically also too in the middle of this one. I'm like 200 pages in. And it's not because I wasn't liking it, it was just kind of slow going in the middle, and but I do really enjoy it, and I really want to finish it and continue with the series because there's like a slow burn romance in here, and it's like super slow burn. Like still nothing has happened to them, but there is this like sexual tension, but they haven't even kissed or nothing, and this is the second book and it's so slow burn, and so I just want to like continue and see where that goes. So yeah, I also love the mysteries in here, and the main character is so sarcastic and funny. I just like vibe with her and I love her. So yeah, I really like this so much and I want to finish it. Finally, we have Murder at Blackwater Bend by Clara McKinnon. This is the second book in a Stella and Lindy mystery. I read the first one last month. Yes, last month. I don't own it. I have it on Kindle, but I do own the second one. So I'm really hoping to read this. It's really short. These are cozy mysteries, so they're really fun, short reads. I like the romance in here and mysteries, and yeah. That's all I want. I have started this also like recently, not like when in the past I need to finish it, but because I want it to read in August, I have started it. But so far I like it, so I just hope to continue with it and not leave it there waiting for me to pick it up for like months or something. So the next one I have is considered a classic. It was written in the 90s, but it's a classic and I've heard good things about it. I've also heard kind of bad things about it, but I want to read it, and I don't know, I've just been wanting to read it for so long and I finally got my hands on it. And that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I love this edition from Book of the Month. It's so like, I don't know, I just like it. It's thick, it has small text, and it's pretty dense that I've heard, but I've heard that it's really good also. It's more like a literary fiction mystery, murder mystery, and I just want to also branch out and try this. I hope I like it because it also too has a murder mystery element, which I love, and I've just heard so much good things about this, especially from Jamie, from Jamie's library. It's one of her favorite books, and she has just told Chloe from Books with Chloe they were picking each other's TBRs, and she put this one on Chloe's TBR because she really wants her to read it, and it's one of her favorite books, and she's always been talking about it, so I've always wanted to pick it up for that reason too, but before that I've also wanted to read it. Next I have Marian Lane and the Midnight Murder by T.A. Wilberg. This one's also too another short one. I got this one pretty cheap. It sounded pretty good. It's kind of like an Agatha Christie styled locked room mystery, and there's like this underground group society of these investigators that try to solve these mysteries that Scotland Yard were unable to solve. And then one day the assistant for that group gets this letter saying that there's a crime about to be committed, and she tries to take it in her own hands to kind of prove that she can be like an investigator or whatever, but then she ends up being the one that's killed in that room because when she gets there there's no one there, but then she ends up dying from someone that she can't even see. I don't know if it's because it's dark or something else, like maybe that's going to play in later on. I don't know. And then we're following the main character, Marian Lane, who is, I think, like a new to being an investigator for that group. And she takes on this case, trying to figure out what happened. And it seems like because it's like the locked room style mystery, only like someone from that group could have like kind of done that. So now we're like, maybe it's someone that she knows, a colleague, someone in that secret group. And it just sounds so good. It's pretty short. And yeah, when it was compared to an Agatha style locked room mystery, I knew I had to read it. Last one. I'm so glad I could do this all in one. Anyway, last one is The Maidens by Alex McLeides. This one is my book of the month for June. I have also kind of started this, but only like a few chapters, and I was liking what I was reading, so I want to pick this up. I've heard mixed things, but a lot of good things also. So basically, we're following the main character who believes that this professor at this college is a murderer, because a lot of the women that are coming up dead are okay, so I don't know how to explain this, but this professor has like this, I don't know if it's like a secret society or a group of these girls called the Maidens, and it has to do with also to Greek mythology, Hades and Persephone, because Persephone was called the Maiden, and so that group I think is inspired by that, and so he calls them the Maidens, but they end up turning up dead. And so our main character, she believes that the professor is the killer, and it just sounds really good. Like the first line says, Edward Fosca was a murderer. So I've heard mixed things about this. It sounds really interesting though, so I hope I like it. I like the little twist with Greek mythology put in there, and I just like, it's like a dark academia style too. So yeah, I hope I do end up liking it. I hope I'm on the side of liking it instead of disliking it. So yeah, most of these books I hope I like, but there's always a chance that I won't, and that comes with reading, because you never know what's in a book until you read it. So, but anyway, there's all the books I have to share with you today. I hope I get to either some of these, if not most of these, maybe all of them, but that's wishful thinking, so I don't know. But yeah, so that is my August TBR, or tentative TBR I should say. And yeah, I hope you like this. If you have read any of these or wish to read any of these, please comment them down below. I would love to talk with y'all. And that is it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.